Two YouTubers, same niche, same effort, but one keeps going viral, generating millions worth of leads and sales for his business, and the other, nothing but dead videos. What if I told you this isn't luck? What if the difference between success and failure comes down to one hidden factor that almost no one talks about? You can have the best editing, the best storytelling, the best hook, but if you get this part wrong, you will fail. And the worst part, almost everyone doing YouTube for their business gets it wrong. This is how to instantly generate viral video ideas for your business. It is our proven process that requires no time, it doesn't need any crazy creativity, and it brings you maximum bottom line results. Now, zooming out, there's two ways to get traffic on YouTube. The first one is search. Someone enters a query, you get some kind of relevant content that is being suggested after entering the query. Or browse. Someone opens the YouTube app or opens YouTube on their desktop, and certain suggestions are being shown to the user based on the algorithm, based on their preferences. Now, what if you could combine the best of both worlds? What if you could have traffic that is being shown when it's being searched for your specific keywords that are important for your business? And what if at the same time this content was so good that it is being actively recommended by the YouTube algorithm to people that might be interested in it? Well, that's possible with the right ideation strategy. How is ideation currently taught? Think about your business problems. Just think about what problems you have with your business, and then what videos could you do based on these business problems, right? You could talk about all these solutions that you offer with your business. And then these videos could probably also rank well on SEO. Give me a break, okay? Someone who's giving you that kind of advice has probably a total experience on YouTube of 1 to 2 years. And they just discovered that YouTube is this new thing that they can make money with if they sell expensive programs to business owners. And now they came up with this kind of BS process. Give me a break. Just one thing, right? There's so many things wrong with this approach, but SEO on YouTube in this way, it doesn't work. And this process is not scalable at all. It's something that will require lots of manual work and input from your side. And it's also something that will not get you a lot of views. Crappy process. But it goes on. Another way to come up with great ideas for videos is, here's a list of 50 video titles that work well on YouTube. Just do those. And you just need to come up with thumbnail ideas. Just take our list. These are 50 viral videos. Just run with that. Well, can it be any more generic? Does anyone really believe they will get lots of views that if they take a generic list of 50 video title ideas and then just do them for their business? Well, guess what? Not gonna work. But it gets even worse. Go on vidIQ, ChatGPT, or any other random AI tool, type in some of your business keywords, and this will then give you title suggestions. And then somehow, think about thumbnails or let AI generate it. Well, what some Dagestani friends of mine would say, send 2 to 3 years Kevin's content to Cashflow program and forget, okay? There's no hope for someone that gives you advice like that to, have any authority on this topic. So don't do that, because for example, there's another inefficiency in this process, right? You come up with some cool title ideas and now you need to think about the thumbnails. Well, the thumbnails are not going to click with the titles if you come up with ideas like that. You can do that, but you should have at least 10 years of experience doing YouTube if you want to do it like that. And, not trying to insult anyone, but the business owners that I work with, they really don't give a crap about YouTube, except for they want to rank on YouTube, they want to get views from YouTube, and they want to turn these views into cash flow. That's what counts to them. They don't want to think about all kinds of thumbnails and whatever. So this is also not an ideal process. Well, let's do it the content to cash flow way. Again, no time, limited creativity, maximum bottom line results. First step, think about your IVP. What's the IVP? It's your ideal viewer profile. And probably your ideal view profile is very similar to your ideal customer profile, right? So think about who is your typical customer? What are their primary and secondary goals? Primary goals could be something like, I want to make $20,000 additional monthly recurring revenue with YouTube. Okay. Secondary goal could be something like, I want to do that, but I want to do it in like less than 5 hours per week because it's, I have a lot of stuff to do with my business. Typical complaints. What are typical complaints by your customers? Revisit those. Revisit your sales scripts, your conversations, face-to-face conversations with customers or with partners. What are typical complaints customers have? And what are they interested in? What do they need help with? Okay. What are these people thinking about? And why should you think about this? Why should you create this detailed IVP? Because this will remind you of who your IVP is. You already know who your ICP is. You just need to remind yourself, because this needs to be at the back of your head for the whole time when you now take the step. The next step is to use our outlier database to brainstorm videos. Well, if you don't have our outlier database, you can create one very simply, and I will tell you how. So essentially, outliers are videos that are doing better than the channel average. Okay. So if, for example, a channel gets, on average, every video they upload gets like 5,000 views, right? One video might get 4K, another one got 6K, next one gets 3K, next one 7K. So on average, they have 5,000 views. Now, one video that they uploaded got 50,000 views. So it's a 10x outlier. Now, the question that you should rightfully ask in this case is, why? What happened? And the answer is, they probably did something extremely right. Okay, something about this video, starting with the packaging, so the title and the thumbnail, seems to be so good that YouTube was forced to recommend this video. From an average channel generating 5K views on average, suddenly one video blew up to 50K. These are the outliers you want to find. And now you don't need to just like randomly scroll through YouTube, search for those. There's tools like vidIQ, for example. You can download it for free, browser plugin, and search for outliers. So you just type in some search words into the YouTube search bar, and then you sort for outliers. I would look for at least 10x outliers. Okay. And now the kind of difficult thing here is to look at the right outliers, because you don't want to take any outlier. There are sometimes random outliers that are outliers because the video topic is just so spectacular, or it's being done by someone like Mr. Beast. So these are probably outliers that you can't adapt to your business. It's going to be very hard to adapt those. So what we did is we created an outlier database that all our Content to Cashflow members have access to, with video outliers that are really very suitable for adapting them to your own business. And we keep this, database updated all around the time, because there's new trends popping up on YouTube and so on. If you don't have access, you can do that yourself. As I said, you just need to be a little bit careful to take outliers that you can then actually adapt. Now, next step that's very important is what you'll do is you will look at these outliers. Like, for example, this one. Give me 8 minutes and I'll improve your communication skills by 88%. So this was a video that it did extremely well. Extreme outlier. What is the title format here? It is, give me a short amount of time and I'll improve you somehow. Ideally, this needs to be very specific, right? This guy is saying by 88%. So give me 8 minutes and I'll show you how to get 50,000 more views on YouTube, okay? Or give me 7 minutes and I'll show you how to improve your sauna setup. And we have someone who's doing a sauna business in our program. This would be a suitable title for them. Now, what you want to do is you go through these outliers and you brainstorm title ideas like this. So the task is to change the title as little as possible while adapting it to your own topic, right? Another example here, the original was something like The Untold Truth of Anthony Bourdain with TV producer Tom blah blah blah, right? So the pattern here is the untold truth about something, about some issue, some institution, technique, right? So Sticking with the sauna concept, right? Let's say we work with a sauna business together. They could do a video, for example, the untold truth about dry saunas. This is going to get a lot of views because there's a lot of people out there searching, wanting to buy a dry sauna. And if you say there's some untold truth about these dry saunas, they will want to make sure to watch this video before making their purchase decision. And once they see your video, they will watch more of your videos, and then they will buy a sauna from you. Great, right? Now what you also want to do is you don't want to just look at the titles, you also want to look at the thumbnails. So for example here, right? Give me a short amount of time and I'll improve you somehow. We see a guy that looks more or less trustworthy pointing at a whiteboard. So it's a super simple thumbnail, and that's why it works. Because people nowadays on YouTube, they like simplicity. They don't want this over-edited stuff. And here they just see a guy in front of a whiteboard. They know, okay, he's going to talk about communication skills. The whiteboard even says, speak like a pro, right? So immediately this builds trust, and they are like, okay, let me give this video a chance. And then if the video content is good, they will stick around, they will subscribe, and they will buy, right? So again, first think about your ideal viewer profile so that you remind yourself of who you are doing these videos for. What are their typical problems, their typical complaints, what are their goals? And then use an outlier database that you can create yourself, or you can use ours if you remember, and come up with video ideas based on outliers. Now, an extra step, because I promised you that we are going to look at how to combine browse-based ideation with SEO-based ideation. Now with this outlier database, we're essentially coming up with hyper-viral concepts. These videos that we have in our outlier database, they worked extremely well. So if we keep the title as similar as possible, as close as possible to the original, and we keep the thumbnail as close as possible to the original, these videos will do well. Promised. Now, what we also want to do is double check with vidIQ whether these keywords are good keywords on Google, right? So for example here, on Google and on YouTube, I mean. So for example here, we're working with one company, they do medical devices. They could, for example, rank for a keyword called medical device sales. If you type that into vidIQ, which is free by the way, they also have a premium version that is also nice, but you can use the free one. Type those keywords in, it will show you, okay, it's actually a pretty high score, which means you have great possibility to rank for this medical device sales keyword. Now, do you need to have medical device in the title? No, right? No. If you just talk about medical device sales in a video, you will probably mention the keywords medical device and sales 10-20 times or so throughout a 10-minute or 20-minute video. So YouTube, looking at the transcript of this video, will know this is a medical device sales video, right? And the title actually plays a very small role when ranking your video in terms of the SEO compatibility. So what this also gives you is related keywords, right? So maybe you get inspired here by other related keywords to also use these in the video, give the video another angle, or create another video. And this is how you combine browse-based virality with search-based SEO targeting. And now the second extra step that you can do is start using Spotter Studio. It's also a nice application. I like it. They're still developing it and it's getting better and better. But what you can do here is you can start brainstorming by typing in an idea, and then Spotter Studio will give you title and thumbnail concepts based on whatever keywords you pasted in there. Now, big word of caution, it's supposed to be based on, what's already out there, what's already working on YouTube. What I found when I use Spotter Studio is that the title and thumbnail concepts, the packaging concepts it comes up with, are inferior to the ones that we use when we use our outlier database. Just because that's like the most straightforward way, right? The outlier database. You look at what worked, you adapt it slightly, so it's also going to work, right? Whereas here, it's not entirely clear how this algorithm works, how Spotta Studio generates these ideas. Sometimes, to be honest, the titles and thumbnails are of the quality that I would say these will probably not work, right? But sometimes they are great. And I think as we progress, there will be more and more tools like that that will actually work quite well. So you can try Spotta Studio. I think they have some kind of trial version available, and that might be something that you use to complement this whole process and use it as a backup option in addition to the existing process. So again, the content to cash flow way, that's how we spend very little time. We don't need crazy creativity. We use someone else's creativity essentially, and we just adapt their creativity to ours, and this will create maximum bottom line results for your business. Now there's a second way. It's the content to cash flow way too. And this also requires very little time. It also requires very limited creativity, and it will produce maximum bottom line results. And arguably, this is even more comfortable. So if you are, a CEO, if you have a lot of responsibility, you're like, okay, I can maximum dedicate 2 hours per month to this YouTube project that everybody keeps telling me is the right thing to do, then this is the way to go. Get someone to interview you and generate ideas. I would suggest hiring a really good strategist. These are people that will probably cost you $5,000, $10,000 or so per month. They are strategists. They do nothing else than think about YouTube titles, topics, and thumbnails. And then what you do is you let them interview you for 1 hour per month, and they should ask questions. How did the past month go? What were great successes? What were losses? What were learnings, achievements with your business? And then these strategists go back and use the outcome. They use the transcript and they use this interview that they had with you to generate topic and title ideas. Right? And as a next step, they will work a lot with AI, but essentially what they do is they take a 1 hour conversation they had with you and they use this to generate viral topic, title, and thumbnail ideas for you to produce. And so a 1 hour interview can yield 4 extremely good topic ideas for your upcoming video topics. Now, is this easy to do? No, you need to get the right people. I'm pretty proud that we have a couple of very highly capable content strategists at our program that, at our, not only our program, but our company, because some of these guys, they actually run our YouTube channels. So they need to be good. And some of them also do that for our clients, where they have a 1 hour conversation once a month. They generate great video ideas based on that, and then the client basically just gets a ready script that fits their business perfectly and is almost guaranteed to generate lots of views, and they just need to read the script in front of the camera, right? And then our video editors or the business's video editors, depending on how it looks like, take over from there. Now, what about the neuropersuasion framework? I kept talking about this a couple of times. When we think about YouTube, we want to think about neuropersuasion. We want to think about how do we move a customer along this awareness arrow to the bottom, which is when, you can make them an offer and they will purchase it. At the top of the arrow, they are like, I have a problem, but I don't know a solution for that problem. So they are extremely cold, right? And with YouTube, you move these prospects further along this arrow. And it has a lot of things to do with neuropersuasion. And what's obviously important here is that each one of your videos is convincing the customer from a different perspective that you are the right person to solve their problems. So you really get pretty deeply into their head and convince them that you are the only solution to all of their problems. And that's hard to do. We have a framework for that, but it makes most sense to apply this framework once you have a couple of videos out there. Because what it also requires is that you look at your analytics and you make an informed decision based on your analytics. So what I suggest is first get good enough content out there ASAP and start gathering data and analytics, right? So in our program, we have an analytics review that's in week 10 of the program depending on your progress. There we go very deep into the analytics. We look at what worked, what didn't work, and then obviously we do more of what worked and less of what didn't work. And that's in terms of everything, right? We look at the CTRs, the ABDs, the retention curves, and so on. And for you watching this, the goal should literally be get content out there that's good enough. Use this methodology of looking at outliers and coming up with video ideas based on these outliers. Get some first content out there, even if it's not perfect, because you just need content out there to start gathering those data analytics. And if you want, you can check out our content to cash flow program. We have implemented a system that's superior. We use this for our own channel portfolio. So the channels that we actually own, where we have skin in the game, that's what we started with, right? And then at some point we also started serving clients. So we use the system for both our own channels and our clients' channels. We start by creating a YouTube master plan in the first 2 weeks of working together. Then we work on creating magnet content that pulls in your viewers, pulls in your ideal viewer profiles, and converts viewers into customers through conversion systems, all the while using YouTube process automation steps that enable you to lead, build, and grow this channel in less than 5 hours per week. Check out more information in the description below. See you next time.